Guys, good afternoon or good evening. I am out here to collect some herbs for my apothecary, and what I'm looking for is some mullein. I don't have to go very far from my front door. I'm looking for the flowers, and I picked most of these, so I'm gonna have to move on from there, but I could collect the leaves, but that mullein is a 2-year-old mullein. I don't like to collect the leaves from a 2-year-old mullein. They produce their flowers every other year, and they usually die in the second year. So here's another mullein. No flowers on that one either. So we will go around, and that one looks like it's going to have flowers soon. I know there's some over by the garden. I also want to collect some elderberry flower. I haven't figured out how to make that into a tea yet. We have lots of Queen Anne's lace on the property, which is good for liver and kidney. But I'm not going to collect any of that because it's very toxic and you have to cook it. It does produce, the root is Queen Anne lace. If you look at it, and if you've ever seen a carrot flower, they are very much like a carrot. They're actually in the same family. And so they produce a flower that looks almost exactly like the same thing. Should have brought a pair of scissors out here. I also am going to walk over to my passion vine, and we are in my garden, which I need to weed like crazy. We have some beautiful onions. We have tomatoes starting to turn color, and here's our onions. We have onions too, and so I need to collect more of those. Got lots of tomatoes, lots of peppers, and this is the time of day where it's good to collect the flowers of the passion flower to make the tea out of. And you can collect the leaves too, but the flowers are better. So since I have the vine growing up here, and I have vines all over my property, I've already collected a lot of leaves from vines that are out in the field. I'm just collecting the flowers here. Now, I'm on the hunt for mullein. There's more passion flower growing up here next to my tomatoes, which are already halfway up the trellis. That's passion vine right there. And these are Amish paste tomatoes growing here. Or no, these are the ox hearts, which I am seeing. Look at that. So you know what I need to look for. I now need to look for manure, because on this plant here is gotta be a hornworm. So because I'm seeing hornworm down, then this is the Amish paste right here. And then this is a smaller variety, which you can see is not as tall. It's just like a beefsteak tomato. And then we have lots of peppers on the vine here. I'm not going to pick those yet. Looks like I need to feed these peppers again. And then we have a Kurt. Yes, we do. And looks like we have an onion that we need to pick here, because its neck is bent like so. So we'll pick an onion. Tomatoes over here that are just the beefsteak kind of tomatoes. And more onions over here. So hopefully these produce some nice big onions. These ones seem to be behind the other onions. Over here is our elderberry. And it's starting to go to seed. Now I already have some. I don't know if I want to pick it. Or it's starting to go to seed. It's starting to go to berry. That's what it looks like when it's going to berry. This is what it looks like before it's going to berry. Okay. And then we have some flea bit. That makes a nice and wonderful tea from what I hear. I don't know what it's good for. I can link that below. I just forget. Oh, there's a little egg over there. And so this is going to... We'll have plenty of elderberry to make elderberry jam and elderberry syrup. For immune, that's great for immunity. We have plenty of sunflowers on the property too. This is a new one and the bees just love sunflowers. So I've got sunflowers in front of my house that have multiple heads on them. This is what we call, I should have brought a shovel out. Maybe if I just pull it out. This is Queen Anne's lace, and it looks, a lot of people think it's elderberry, but the head is a lot smaller. It looks, the way it's shaped, even the leaves look a lot like elderberry. But let me see if I have a carrot. I think I have a carrot going to seed. Dill looks a lot the same, but it's green. I let sometimes my carrots go to seed on purpose. We're getting new beds soon. Yes, okay, so this is actually a carrot, and you can see the difference. It looks almost the same. I know this is a carrot because I planted carrots here last year. Carrots go to seed the second year. So this is definitely a carrot. I planted carrots here last year. And to prove the fact, there we go. There's a carrot, right? These carrots didn't produce very large, but there's lots of little carrot. And this is growing from... There's another one that's developing. So I want to collect the seed from the carrot, because why pay for carrots if you could let one go to seed? So I want to see, from what I understand, the Queen Anne's lace root is very much like a carrot. So if I can pick this out, I don't know if I'll be able to. Let's get really close to the ground. Okay. So this is the root right here. And to me, that doesn't look like a carrot. But that is the part that you can cook. And you can cook it in a stew just like you would cook carrots, okay? Now, the other edible part of Queen Anne's lace is these beautiful flowers. People usually fry them. And so I don't know if my birds will eat these. And I don't know if I should give them to them because they can be quite toxic. So you have to cook Queen Anne lace. Make you, they're good for your kidneys and liver. Let's just say that. So I got a little something to show you guys. My chicken had a babe. Look what she showed up with. And so the nice thing is that duck, when he eats, he drops a bunch of food on the ground and the baby chick eats it. So it's not getting baby chick food, it's getting food that I don't know how to give it water. I think I need to get a water thing out here. But yeah, I think I'll do that later. See, they're going over there to eat while everybody's over here. So there's lots of food on the ground that's too small for the other chicks to eat, and that baby chick will eat it. But it just follows mom around. It's been alive for about 5 days. I'm really starting to worry about it now. They can survive a few days without food and water, and we're getting close to that time. So I better get that baby chick some water, or in a reservoir out here when we can get some water for that baby chick. So I'll do that a minute and then come back and we'll get looking for, just a minute. I found it. I knew that there was another mullein out here that was flowering right in my garden. There we go. And what we're making out of the mullein, guys, is we have Labradors, and they like to get ear infections. That can be painful. And this is, I soak these in the olive oil. And this is all you do to harvest them. We soak them in olive oil. Look, there's other ones that fell already. And I put them in a jar. And if there's any bugs in them, the olive oil will kill it, and then I just kind of scoop them out with a spoon. So I already have a little jar in here to collect them. And it works really good for ear infections. I almost wanted, if I could get Mrs. Pigglesworth to hang out still, our pig, I would give her some of this because she had an ear infection. We had to give her antibiotics for. Because believe it or not, it's easier to give the pig an injection while I feed her. Chris goes behind her and gives her an injection than us trying to figure out how we're going to put oils in their ear. And so I just come out and collect that every day. Every time that I can collect this lace cap right here, just break it off, and then I'll put it in a dehydrator and make tea out of it. Now you have to put it in a dehydrator with I put paper under, or saran wrap, something that can get hot, because these leaves, these little tiny petals, each one of these little tiny petals is a little flower, as you look there, and they are very hard to I'm just dropping them in my basket. They are very hard to they break down really easy, and they fall apart really easy. And so the most beautiful plant, I love these, and that's why I'm growing a couple of them in my front yard now, just because I love these seed heads. Aren't they beautiful? And they're so beneficial. This is a huge immune booster. I make the honey or the syrup out of it, and so the rest of this is going to be, this is what it looks like when it's too late to collect, because now it's going to make those berries. And I have a video where I've made the jam and the elderberry syrup, which is very expensive to buy and to make, actually, because of all the honey in it. So, but it's so good for your immune system, and kids love it. So you can slip it on their pancakes, and gives them immune boost every day that they eat pancakes. So we got some of those, and hopefully there's some water left for Mama and the baby, because that poor baby needs some water. There we go, we give the chickens a treat. And Mama can get over there and get water, and hopefully that baby will go over there now. So I want to grab her and say, hey, here's the water. Okay, I better get out of here and they'll probably drink fine. So, anyways. Myself a cabbage leaf, or a cabbage, and some coleslaw with that. Got an onion. Got tomatoes in the house. All this stuff is coming out of the garden. Got some carrot to go with this cabbage from the garden. We'll see you guys next time, guys. God bless. Bye.